Well, I'm just really pleased with the way the team fought all day today. The run at the end of the third was obviously the difference in the game. That was tough, but everybody stayed connected, kept in the fight, and just a real disappointing result given the effort that was put in.
Pat Boylan, go ahead.
Rick, it seemed like the offense was flowing really well for the better part, 3 quarters. You had the 11-point lead. What caused things, in your eyes, to go cold from there?
I haven't looked at it yet. We had a couple of bad offensive possessions that got them going a little bit. Kevin Love was obviously a big part of it, and I'll have to look at it. But on the road, you've got to be able to stem the tide. With by somehow finding a good shot and getting the ball in the basket, or creating a situation where you can draw a foul and get to the free throw line to stop the momentum. And we were just unable to do it. I thought we had a couple of really good looks that didn't go in, and we had a couple of other possessions that were not good. And so, again, that was tough. But not one time through the whole game did anybody drop their head. I mean, guys kept their heads up and kept playing. I mean, I was really, really proud of Kiefer Sykes tonight. Who played his best game as a pro. Dwayne Washington had 20 points. Those two kids fought their butts off. And we just, we had a lot of great effort out there, but unfortunately not the result that we wanted.
Considering the circumstances, how pleased are you with Washington, Sykes? It seemed like Lance fit in pretty well, considering all of these guys are kind of learning their teammates and the chemistry on the fly.
Well, on such short notice, Wash getting thrown in there, 2 days ago against the best team in the East. Kiefer being thrust into the starting lineup this morning. It's just all things considered. I mean, these guys are gamers and they're ready, and they've really worked hard for this moment, and so this is very special. But neither one of them is treating it like it's any kind of a big deal given the circumstance of losing the game. I mean, these guys are all about team. They're all about fight, all about trying to win, and they'll continue to do that. So, but this is an amazing opportunity for those guys, and this team will continue to fight hard. I can promise you that.
Wheat, go ahead.
Yeah, Rick, Justin had a lot of praise on Friday for both Kiefer and Dwayne for just how vocal they are on the court. What does that say about them, so that maybe they don't have a ton of experience, but they're out there communicating with their teammates and playing with confidence?
Well, they've got great basketball personality. All their verbal stuff is related to team and winning and helping their teammate and stuff like that. It's just it's great to be around, and they've helped us pick up kind of our personality as a team as they've become more involved here. So it's great to see, and once again, Kiefer was terrific defensively. I mean, he made it a 94-foot game defensively. I thought made really good decisions and had some key shots. So he's getting better. He's getting better each game.
Scott, go ahead.
Rick, while under, man, how much mental tinkering do you have to consider? Like, well, that guy's not available. Let's go to this. Like, it puts you out of your routine a little bit in terms of guys you have available.
Yeah, I mean, all this stuff is considered and taken into account ahead of time. We try to come up with a framework of a rotation that will allow us to keep guys together that fit, that will allow guys to get rest, so we don't have to go crazy with super big minutes, and that's really important when we're in a stretch like this, So hey, everybody just got to continue to stay ready, to keep fighting. We got to get a couple more balls in the basket. We got to get a couple more stops, and that's really been the world we're living in all year.
Are you surprised at all at the striking differences, you guys from beyond the arc, and how dominant then the Cavs were from inside the paint? Does that surprise you?
That we shot it well, you mean?
That you guys were so much 3-point heavy, whereas they controlled inside the paint and had their way.
No, listen, we're a very capable 3-point shooting team. There's no question about it. I had a feeling today that Domas was going to shoot the ball well out there. I watched his warm up before the game early. Kiefer was obviously due to, from a process standpoint, to knock some shots down. Wash, that's what he does. He runs around, puts the ball in the basket. And Justin Holiday has been doing this for a long time. And look, Miles had 1 or 2 threes. We've just got to continue to be opportunistic with those things. And Cleveland's a unique team. I mean, they're if they're not number 1 in the league in points in the paint, they got to be very close. I mean, they really take advantage of their size and do a great job exploiting it because they have bigs that can finish inside and can really pass the ball. And so they put you in a lot of tough binds. But right now, it's not about style points. It's about opportunity. It's about staying in the fight and creating the next great opportunity to do something good. So, I just love the way the guys are connected and how they're competing right now.
Tony East, last one.
Rick, you had 4 players in your rotation today that weren't in the rotation at all before this. 3 of them weren't even on the team as of a week ago. From a coaching standpoint, how does that make you change your approach? Does it make you keep things more simple? How do you kind of go through that before the game and in the game?
Yeah, it's we had a chance to come over to the arena last night with our 8 new / young guys to get some reps. Goga was one of those guys, obviously he's not with us now. So, it's simplification, and then we just really got to let all these guys know that we really believe in them and that we love them. We're going to make this opportunity for them, the greatest experience that we can make it, and for them to be ready and to be fearless. I mean, beyond that, we're keeping the game as simple as possible.
I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't actually thought about that yet. Maybe it could have been, late game stuff. Like I said, does slow down in the 4th. But sometimes it doesn't always stay hot, and we have to find ways to still stay close, still be able to win the game and get stops. I think our defense was the reason why things kind of flipped on us for the most part, because we still were right there at the end, had a chance to win. So. A few more stops, we stay on top, we win the game.
I know your goal is to always stay as confident as possible. You've hit 11 threes in these last couple of games. What are your thoughts just as your shot trends in a positive direction here lately?
I just hope it continues to do that, because I'm going to shoot it. I won't change how I go about that. The only thing that I have been thinking about in shooting my shots is just taking my time, holding my follow through, no need to rush, because no one's really getting to it. And I think how my body was feeling from coming back from COVID and trying to adjust and get back to, kind of settling into being comfortable and just taking my time. I think it's starting to come around now, and hopefully stays this way for the rest of the season.
Wheat, go ahead.
Yeah, Justin, you had some praise on Friday for just the way that Kiefer and Dwayne carry themselves out there. Obviously, they had to play big minutes tonight with how shorthanded you are. What do you think of their performance?
Yeah, I think they did a great job. They played without fear, and that's a big deal. That's a hard thing to try to figure out when you're young. Is how can you play this game and not worry about making mistakes? They're gonna make mistakes. They did. We all make mistakes. The vets make mistakes. So I like how they make a mistake, they'll keep going. Don't shy away from being aggressive on both ends. And again, man, their energy is just so good for us. How they talk, how they run around, fly around, pick up the ball. Just give everything they have, and that's what we asked of them.
Scott, go ahead.
Justin, as a guy who's been through just about everything in the league, what has it been like, especially in the last, 48 hours when you have so many newcomers, some guys maybe you've never even heard of or don't know well, and trying to figure it out on the fly together?
Yeah, this is a new thing to add to the journey. Well, actually, that's the journey, I guess, as far as being in the NBA. Because when I did play in the D League, there were times when we had a whole couple of new teammates that did come in. Mind you, it wasn't losing, how many we lost, 5 to 6, and adding that many. So it's a new thing, a new experience. And I'm happy for those guys that are able to come in and play and get an opportunity. I remember when I was probably around their age, or I could have been older, but earlier in my career, wanted an opportunity like that. And I know these guys really, really want it, and they've all come in and been focused. Again, brought energy, encouraging, and even though they're new, they're fitting right in and locking into what we need to do and being good teammates. And when they get on the floor, giving everything they have. So I am appreciative of those guys that have come in. I'm thankful for the opportunity they do have, and also the guys that are out, want them to be healthy, be able to come back, and so we get our full team.
Tony East, go ahead.
Justin, Rick just talked about with having 3 guys you've signed in the last week, having to keep it simple for them to make you guys kind of flow together. How much has that helped the team and you, even as you've had these new guys, just going back to the basics a little bit?
Yeah, it keeps us from thinking too much out there on the court. One thing you don't want to do when you're playing is think a lot, because I guess I can speak for myself. I need to be able to move fast, know what I'm going to do, be decisive. And when you're out there thinking and trying to figure out where it needs to go where, it's hard to be aggressive. It's hard to find your spots. So keeping it simple, sometimes is good for all of us. Just, we're going to do this, this, and this. Do it as hard as you can and see what happens. And, we look pretty good, for the situation that we're in.
Domas, you're always a focal point of what this team is trying to do when totally healthy. When you have this many guys out, do you feel like you have to put more weight on your shoulders to contribute, especially on the offensive end?
Yeah, I feel like just to get guys going, trying to create open looks and advantages, problems. The coach wants everyone to create a problem, and then we play off that. So I got to bring up the ball more, drive more, just to get guys open looks, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Wheat, go ahead.
Hey, Domas, I bet you didn't expect a couple days ago to be reunited with Lance, but I think you and Miles are the only guys who played with him before. What was it like just having him back around the team? And back on the
it's
team?
great, he's a great guy. We love him, and the fact that he's back is a really big, he knows how we play, he knows the culture here, so it's just fun having him back.
Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, Domas, just about your personal performance, obviously excelled, and Rick said going into the game he kind of expected you to maybe get some good opportunities beyond the arc as well. Was that something maybe you were looking or prepared for, I guess?
They were playing a drop defense, coach called a couple plays in a row for me to get the shot off, and they went in, so just keep playing.
Scott, did you have another one? I'm sorry.
All good.
Tony, did you have your hand up?
I was going to ask something similar, but I can ask one anyway. Domas, with so many point guards out, you've kind of been tasked with more playmaking, especially tonight. How much more difficult is that, especially when you are integrating so many new guys all at the same time?
Personally, it's not difficult. I like playmaking, so I get a chance to do a bit more of it now, and I just tell the guys to be ready to shoot. Every time I drive, there's a guy or two extra on me. So I'm just trying to create an advantage for somebody else to get a good shot off.